The people that were meant to be the chosen people completely rejected and murdered the Messiah when he came. Like, one of the first things we see in scripture is a loving God. What's he doing? Searching for Adam. Confrontation to me is searching for connection. Where is our connection? Where was our connection lost? And can I be honest with my experience of that loss and be able to talk about it? But when we don't talk about that loss of connection, the separation gets larger and larger. And that's honestly why I think the people that were meant to be the chosen people completely rejected and murdered the Messiah when he came. I think enough disconnection bred itself into that relationship between them and God that when he finally even showed in the clearest image of God that has ever existed, they rejected, persecuted, killed him. I think that's what happens when we don't actually bring things up or address things earlier on in the relationship. When we let shame creep in, we let these things, these wedges, you can go numb, explode later. You're like, that didn't bother me, that didn't bother me, that didn't bother me, that didn't bother me. I can't believe you've always been this way, this way, this way. You've never loved me. It's like whoa, where did that big, huge statement come from? Like, gosh, I know we've even had that in our marriage where I'll be like, you're kind of just always this way. And it's like, whoa. I can take responsibility for this moment right now, but I can't take responsibility for you not sharing 50 other moments. And I think, like, as we're jumping to this message, like, I want you guys to kind of like, understand that this is a tool. This is a tool for connection. And every time I've had a serious confrontation, I usually always start, and we're going to jump into like some how-tos, some phrases to say, some language at the end of this, because I think that could be helpful. I usually always start my conversation like, hey, I just want to let you know, I might share some things that might be painful, but ultimately I want deeper connection with you. I want, this is a conversation I'm having because I want closeness with you. If I didn't want closeness, I wouldn't be bringing any of this stuff up. I want to be close to you. I share that so that the other person, regardless of their triggers, will know that my goal is to step closer to them, rather than like, I'm going to give you a piece of my mind and however you take it, I don't care. Take it or leave it, pal. Like, that's not the way we do this in the kingdom. That doesn't mean sharing, like, if you have one of those people, you're like, I haven't shared anything with that person for a long time. Start with something small. And usually it's best to have confrontations in the midst of a good connecting moment. One more reason I just want to say, like, that confrontation is so good. We've met with people all the time. They're like, man, I have no issues in my life right now. Man, life is so easy and good. But then when you start to investigate, you're like, no, you've created this healthy little buffer around you and people where you're just maintaining the peace in relationships and you're not doing any level of depth with really anybody. You moved across the planet to be away from mom and dad. You've avoided anybody that's brought feedback into your world, and you have no spiritual mother or father or leadership or mentorship. And every time they've showed up, you found a way to disqualify them, and everybody's at fault except for you in your life. You're like, that's very interesting. And if I were to bring that up, you'd probably avoid me too. So it's like confrontation is one of those things where you're like, okay, if I'm not addressing why I'm so afraid of being confronted or giving confrontation, then I will continue to be powerless to connection and intimacy in my life and relationship. That's not what we want. We want closeness. And that's the goal of this, is how can we create closeness with people in our lives?
I think too, there are some confrontations you have because you want closeness. There are others you need to have just to have clarity and closure to a relationship. It's
so good.
Easier and a little more black and white if we made this whole topic about how to have confrontation with people you want to be close with.
Oh yeah.
Right? That's definitely easier. We can give you ways and language and help you understand how to not bring blame and judgment and things like that, which is always an amazing tool for any confrontation you have. But there are other confrontations that you have to find clarity and to help you figure out, what do I want in this relationship? Some of my confrontations, like the last confrontation I can think of, I had already read the writing on the wall of a friend in my life. The writing on the wall was, she doesn't reach out. She said she wanted friendship. She doesn't invite me to anything. I'm specifically the only one left out, with the rest of the group, but she told me she wanted to be my friend. So the writing on the wall is, there's something she doesn't like about me, and there's a reason why she's leaving me out. And instead of me making up in my head what I think is the reason, or just deciding to quietly remove myself from from the equation, which I already kind of had. I had just quietly like been like, okay, I'm just going to pull back. I can see what's happening. But instead of just leaving it in this passive, avoidant, no communication wonderland and pretending like we're friends when we see each other, I was like, I would rather honor the amount of relationship we've had over the last couple of years and have a clarifying conversation. This conversation, based on her response, will either bring us closer together or it will give me the clarity that I need and it will end with us not being close. Hopefully, it's done with love and respect mutually, no matter what it ends up in. So in this confrontation, and I told her this, the goal wasn't for us to be friends at the end of it. I let her know, hey, I don't need to be your friend. I'm not saying any of this because I need you to include me or invite me in any of it. I am just wanting to know why, and if there was something that I did that maybe caused you pain or offended you, I would just love clarity, because I don't know, because you've never communicated why you don't want to be friends with me. All I know is on my experience of our relationship, there's a lot of quietness and me being not included in things.
Yeah.
She was incapable of having healthy confrontation. My messages were really loving, very vulnerable, very tender, not controlling at all. Here's my experience. Here's my pain. I don't need anything, but I would love some clarity. And I was met with blame, judgment, accusation over things that she never communicated to me. And she didn't share any of it with any vulnerability. And my response was like, hey, I hear you. I'd love to sit down and hear more. I want to hear your experience. I didn't get to hear a lot of vulnerability in your message, just a lot of assumptions about me. But if there were things that I did that caused you pain, I would love to hear your heart in it.